I'm Salad and I saw Dazed and Confused. It is directed by Richard Linklater. This is a request by a Patreon. If you'd like to fast track a movie review, you can go to patreon.com/ASEPresents for $20 a month. My previous exposure to this movie was none. I had no idea what it was. So, if you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. The movie starts, we're following a bunch of high schoolers on their last day of school, and it's a relatable feeling to be like, oh man, I'm anxiously waiting for school to be out. Ooh, and then summer's out, and we're gonna be on our own. We're following this guy. I like his name. His nickname is Pink. Pink Floyd for short. And he's a football guy, and he's not supposed to do any drugs because drugs are bad. Oh man, how are you going to exist, guy? I don't know your previous backstory with drugs and alcohol, but you're a teenager. This is 1993 when this movie came out. Maybe you're like, maybe I want to have some drugs and alcohol. What can I do this summer? And he's being warned by his coach, and I'm like, oh boy, is he gonna break his oath? Is he gonna want to not be a football player anymore because he's gonna have some drugs? So, that's the start of the movie. We're also following a good amount of freshmen, and they're being hazed, and this is an experience I do not relate to at all. I've never been hazed. Probably the closest I've ever experienced being hazed is probably like freshman year. I go into some sort of gym and there's this gathering, I forget what it's called. It's like, oh, go to this corner. Who do you have for homeroom? And then talk to people, break the ice, that kind of corny stuff. I didn't get corn thrown at me. Like, it's disgusting. Oh yeah, I'd sit on the ground, lay on the ground. It's just a bunch of seniors like yelling at the freshmen. I'm like, man, these seniors must have really wanted to haze these people because they've been hazed before. They've been waiting 3 years so these freshmen can be covered in ketchup, mustard, seems like oatmeal, mayonnaise and eggs or whatever, some gross stuff. And then the most humiliating part, because the guys are just getting thwacked with like these homemade what is the paddle? What is the actual technical term for the paddle? Big, has a bunch of holes in it. The senior guy, he made it, and he's gonna hit a bunch of freshmen. I'm gonna get you. One of the freshmen leaves. Good for him. Unfortunately, he gets caught later. LaCroix. This is why you don't try to. You gotta go against your punishment for being young. I guess you gotta go against the punishment. Headstrong. You gotta be like, yeah, I'm gonna get my butt whipped. I'm gonna get it whooped good, so I don't get whipped later. So anyway, let's talk about the females. Their hazing process is we have the seniors being like, hey, female, how about you propose to the senior boy over there? And there's a couple of chicks that do this, and it's really demeaning. It's very sexually degrading, is probably the best way I could describe this, because oh my goodness gracious, is it just like, so there's a woman, she's just on all of her fours, she's on her knees, she's looking up like a dog, and she's like, will you marry me? And he's like, no, because both of the dudes are like, no. They're like, what would I get if I was proposed? What would I get? That's stuff. I've never experienced this. The fact that this exists, I was like, oh goodness. Why? Was this somebody's experience before? Who had this experience? Please let me know if you experienced this type of hazing, because I still cannot get over the fact that this type of hazing exists. Also, another plot line that occurs is the fact that, somebody wants to have a party since school's out. we're gonna have a big old party. There's a bunch of kids hanging out together, one with a marijuana leaf on their shirt, which is honestly pretty cool. I don't know why the shirt isn't green, it's brown. Maybe because it's earthy, I don't know. I personally just would have made the shirt green because it seems like the obvious choice. But maybe it's to fit in with the color palette of the movie, which is, by the way, pretty much muted earth tones except for when it's bright. Only bright and like bright colors or colors used to really make you feel like you're in the environment. But this isn't like an overly saturated movie. It's pretty decently colored. Maybe that's why he had the brown shirt. So anyway, one of the dudes, I'm gonna have a party. Oh, my parents aren't leaving because they suspect I'm gonna have a party. Because some guy, okay, this dude pulls up to this house during like a few hours early with a bunch of kegs of beer in the back of his truck. And he walks up and he's knocking on the door and the parents are like, who are you? What are you doing? What? And I'm just thinking, dude guy who delivered the kegs early? Why did you do this? Oh, I thought I could just do this early. I'm just gonna go to this place early, I'm gonna be here early. I have my place set out for me. I'm gonna go home early and I'm gonna have an early dinner and I'm gonna watch the game finally because I'm finally home early enough. I'm too busy delivering kegs, but somehow today's work was cut out for me and now I'm gonna deliver this keg early. And I'm like, dude, just agree to the scheduled time. There might be a reason why you can't have it before. Oh, maybe there's somebody like, if you're like delivering to like a wedding venue, for example, that wedding venue might like have somebody else there before the scheduled time of you picking up, of you dropping off the kegs, and the wedding who actually ordered the kegs or going to receive the kegs. Kind of like that example. That's why you don't go before the scheduled time. This keg guy sucks and should be fired. Someone please fire him. And the parents don't leave as a result. And so it's hilarious seeing a bunch of kids just go up to the room, to the door, rather, not the room, to the front door, and the parents are there like, yeah, my son's gonna have a party when we're gone, but not anymore. So now it's the rest of the night. The rest of the night occurs with a bunch of hooligans doing stuff, being threatened by guns, when hooligans are like, oh, I'm gonna go to a place, and then, got a shotgun pulled on me. Oh no, that's not good. But honestly, I really like the part where we do see two of the people who were, what was that word I used again? It was a term, the freshmen. You know the freshmen who got hazed? That's the term. They got hazed. They're talking to each other like, oh, we love each other. I like that. You know, it's like cute like that. And now they're gonna have a summer friendship. And I'm curious as to what will happen during the summer friendship. I'm always wondering, I always want like some sort of sequel to these movies where it's like kind of expanding on the characters that are happening, you know, the summer friendship. I mean, that's the summer love, the summer sweetheart loviness of what's happening during the summer. Also, I love just seeing this dude, another group of friends. You remember the guy who doesn't have the green shirt but should? Yeah, he has, surprisingly, Mary Jane has a guy, well, sorry, marijuana, that's the proper term, and he has it. And he's giving it to some guy who's never had it before. And now that guy is having the highest experience of his life. He's high as a kite. He's Superman high. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he's high and he's experiencing life. Man, it's a wild ride just seeing like at the end of the day, there's a kid who's drunk and he's like, I'm gonna walk into my parents' house, walk into my room and my family's gonna be, are you drunk? And I'm not gonna acknowledge them. And I'm like, man, it's hilarious. I would never be allowed to not acknowledge my parents if that happened, which is why I didn't drink until I was 21. Back to that Mary Jane guy. Apparently they have like, that group of friends has so much of the Mary Juana, which is sad because the cops are coming after them and they have to ditch it. I'm like, dude, why would you have so much on you at once? What, do you want to have a party, a mobile party? But if the cops are after you and it's like presumably illegal, why would you do that? Come on, dude, just take some with you and like leave the rest at home. Oh, maybe you can't because your parents are on to you. Yeah, that's a little problematic. Let's have a grand old time where we go run away. And I'm hoping that the police, they don't get you eventually. You might have got rid of them now, but they're on to you. They know you. Look, they have what if they have a dog, right? They have a dog who could smell the Mary Juana. However, that Mary Juana has your scent on it, which is more powerful than the actual scent of the bud. And so they're on your tail, guy. You gotta chill out. You gotta not be so paranoid, or else he's gonna get you, which is completely counterintuitive. But you know, this is a fun movie. This movie made me think. The dialogue. Okay, that's movie ended, by the way. The dialogue is pretty witty. It's fun, fast, like quip after quip. Like a lot of the actors are playing against each other. It's fun. I like the experience because it's like, oh, it's just a bunch of friends bickering, and we get to see a bunch of friends bickering throughout the movie during several points of the movie. Several different friend groups, several different people, just the different types of people that exist when school is out, including the parents that are like, oh, we're not gonna let you have a party. And so I enjoyed that. That's probably the most relatable experience. Oh, you're not gonna have a party. And so I wouldn't have one. Well, I would have a party if I had any friends. I've heard Kevin Smith say that Richard Linklater's other movie, Slacker, was a big inspiration for him. And I can see that. This movie is very conversational based, and Clerks is pretty much very similar. I like this movie style a lot, especially if you like relate to this heavily. Again, I don't relate to it as heavily, but I really do appreciate the skill of the actors and the high stakes that occur. It's like, dude, I don't want you to get paddle whooped. Guy who flees the hazing and then eventually gets paddle whooped. I like how like stuff like that pays off, because it's like, oh, this has been established. This dude's making a whip, and what he's gonna do with this paddle? Oh, he's gonna use it to spank people. And there's like a whole bunch of story threads throughout this entire day, which I think is pretty clever. Also, Ben Affleck's in this movie. Batman, how did you get here? Kevin must have seen him in this and hired him for Mallrats. Totally makes sense. And so I gotta give this movie a solid like 7.3 out of 10. If you like this review, tell me how I can improve in the comments below. Or you can like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. The ultimate goal of this channel is for me to become an expert movie reviewer. So if I haven't reviewed it on the channel, there's a chance I haven't even seen it at all. If you'd like to request a movie in the comments below, you can do that, or you can fast track a movie review at patreon.com/ASEPresents for $20 a month for one movie review per 1 month, $3 a month for early access to how to draw all the Pokemon, $151 for the goal of 2023, so go to patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you'd like to help support the daily grindiness of these daily movie reviews, you can go to this link tree. You can go to Fansly, which is my main site. Really helps the daily grindiness of all these movie reviews. So go here, and until next time, I'm mint salad sauce. See you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits.
Medical researchers are coming to the conclusion that marijuana, pot, grass, whatever you want to call it, is probably the most dangerous drug in the United States, and we haven't begun to find out all of the ill effects. But they are proven.
Oh, and happy birthday, Jason.